Okay, we should be back. Okay, load test 1 2. Okay, cool. Should be right. I hear myself. Haha. Not sure if that came through on stream, but that's right. Sure. All right. This has been a game that I've been wanting to get to for a little bit. If you're familiar with the Ace Attorney series, the Phoenix Wright games, this is a game much in the spirit of the series, but this is kind of like a prequel, so you don't need to have any knowledge of the other games to play this game or enjoy it, so that's great. Yeah, I played a couple of the other Ace Attorney games, but unfortunately a lot of them suffer from poor translation because going from the Japanese to English, like a lot of things don't make sense, and they have to kind of like, change things in accordance. So yeah, I believe it's number 1 and number 4 are like the only two good ones, and like apparently like 2 and 3 are like horrible. So, well, not that they're horrible. Apparently, like a lot of shit just doesn't make sense. So yeah. What do we got option wise? Yeah, but these are known as what is it? These are known as big, long text adventure games, so I'm gonna do a lot of reading. So wait time, text skip, vibration, screen flashes, subtitles. That should be fine. Enable story mode in a pace of autoplay, allowing you to progress through the game automatically without having to press any buttons. Oh, interesting. No, I won't do that. I guess if you just want to sit there and read and just chill out, you can do that. Oh, that's right. Yeah, that was the whole game mode behind this, right? So in case you just want to sit and you chill out, and the game plays itself, you can just watch it. Instead of watching a YouTube video, just pay the full price. Thanks, Capcom. That's cool. Very cool of you. Alright. Let's do it then. New game. Sure. Anime. Gross.
The Empire of Japan. After opening its doors, a push for cultural transformation.
But yeah, unlike
Western influence.
Yeah, unlike the other Ace Attorney games that happen in like modern day, this happens in the past, so
the revolution washed over
it's a bit more old school.
Life in the capital exciting and unsettling. It was a period of great change, and some were swept away by the tide.
Yeah, of course, there's always a murder. Yeah, I believe it's like every case, there's always like a murder involved.
But for one man, the turbulence of that era.
Yeah, but I think in the first case they make it easy for you. They always reveal who the killer is. It turns out it's myself. Yeah, I believe the first case they always reveal who the killer is to make it, you gotta kind of like prove who the killer is. But in later cases, you actually gotta figure it out yourself. So 22nd of November, 8:43 a.m. Supreme Court of Judicare, Defendants Antechamber 5. I still can't believe it. I still can't believe this is happening. I like those typing sounds. Yeah, like the old school typewriter. Or it's like loud as fuck. I couldn't imagine like that'd be like the crazy amount of noise like old school offices back in the day before like there was any kind of like, modern day equipment, just old typewriters, all mashing. It's like, Christ, that'd be like the last thing in the world. How can it be that just beyond the doors to this quiet little chamber? Is it the highest court in Japan? Waiting to decide my fate? Slow pan. 3D backgrounds. Oh, is it 3D character models as well? What? Oh, no, nothing. Save your glass, murderer. Sorry. You ever play Catherine? I did. Yeah, I believe I played it on stream, actually. I played it on my YouTube channel. But that was unfortunately made by Atlas, and Atlas was like, hey, the end of the game, that's cool. We're gonna block the end of the game so you can't stream it. So yeah, I made it up all the way up to the end and I couldn't stream the end. So was that good? It was good. It was actually quite challenging as well, so quite puzzling. Yeah, I believe I did actually turn it down to easy because it was actually quite difficult. Looked interesting, yeah, for sure. And if you ever see that cheap, I'd recommend picking it up for sure. Just play it on your own, I guess. And they actually added in extra content, and an extra ending for the HD remaster as well. So that's cool. Exclusive PS exclusive one. Oh yeah, for the extra one. That's why I didn't pick it up on Steam. Ah, I see. Oh, exclusive for PC, really? Oh, for PlayStation? I'm pretty sure it'd be exclusive for. Pretty sure it'd be on everything, right? Also, 1 second. I just need to check on something. 1 second. Excuse me. And my food delivery is almost here. Yeah, for some reason, because I always get my food delivered on a Monday, but for some reason they don't deliver it during the day on Monday, so I have to get it delivered during the night. So, I don't know why, but okay. I just got the text that's almost here, so I'll probably have to jump it up in a second and grab it, so I'll wait for it to be delivered. My name is Ryonosuke Naruhodo. I'm a second-year student at Imperial Yumine University. 3 days ago, I somehow found myself in the middle of a horrifying incident. And now here I am, awaiting my trial. That's enough. He's not obliged to listen to such abuse, officer. And who are you? I'm this man's lawyer. I'll be defending him today. Lawyer? Yes, and until the judge has given his verdict on the case, no one has the right to treat him as a criminal. So you hold your tongue. Technicalities. Look at you. You haven't even graduated yet. And yet, I still seem to know better than you than a court officer should believe. So this is like it's gonna be our rival, perhaps. Right, Ryonosuke? Oh, yes, of course. Sorry. And what are you apologizing to me for? Oh, No, I suppose that wasn't my fault. But really, Kazuma, I never meant to drag you into this. I'm sorry. Ha 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 ha. There you go again, apologizing. Just like always. I thought I must say, you must have been all over the newspapers over the last few days. Yume University professor murdered in cold blood by students. But obviously, you didn't actually do it, did you? Of course not, you have to believe me. I didn't do it, unless it's going to be the guy that's going to be defending us. Perhaps. The DLC or add-on was a PlayStation exclusive? Really? Huh. Interesting. Because I thought it was just came with the base game. So I'm pretty sure I didn't buy DLC, unless on other platforms it came as DLC. Yeah, maybe. I could never murder someone. Then there's nothing to worry about. Straighten yourself up. Hold your head high. You mean? I believe you. I know you're innocent, Ryonosuke. Kazuma Asukai, my best friend and also the second year of Yume University. But he's far more clever than I, a star student in fact. He's even a qualified lawyer, impressive considering that he's still an undergraduate. It's not that impressive. The very concept of lawyers is only a few years old, but here in Japan anyway. My qualifications didn't mean much yet. I said exactly the same thing 3 days ago. I'm proud to have a friend like you, Kazuma, truly. 3 days ago. Yes, that's when all this started. Yeah, right. Okay. It just arrived. Alright, so I'll grab up and I'll put that away. So this will take me like 2 minutes. 1 second. Alright, my bad. Oh, it took a little bit longer than I expected. I was like trying to like make space in my freezer, I got like a bunch of crap in there, so just trying to like shove it all in. So because my freezer's not really that big, so trying to like make it all fit accordingly. Anyway, congratulations, Kazuma. It looks like you're gonna get to study abroad at last. I know. It's been forever since I've been dreaming of this day. Finally, those government elites acknowledged my academic achievements and success in court. So you'll be representing Japan as you immerse yourself in the most sophisticated legal system in the world. I'm really happy for you and proud as your friends. There's not a soul in this university who doesn't know Kazuma's name. He's a living legend. It's like some sort of mysterious aura building around his temple. I want you to bring this change in our town into our own legal system. For some reason I read that as a T. I don't know why. And that's why I have to cross the ocean to see the real thing with my own eyes. The heart of the British Empire. I wish I could see it too. Actually, can I turn off that flash? Yeah, screen flash. Just turn that shit off. Thank you. And then come with me. We'd have a wild time tearing up the streets of Her Majesty's city of London together. It's only if only it were this simple. Oh dear, look at the time. I better get going. Alright, I'll see you later. I think I'll stay here and enjoy this place a little while longer. Good idea. After all, it's not every day you get to visit a high-class Western restaurant like this. I'll see you in English class tomorrow then. Partner? Yes, as they speak in English. Aha. That's the classic Japanese to English like controversy though. It's like, it'd be a shame if we spoke in English. Like when they're speaking in Japanese, obviously supposed to be speaking in Japanese. It was straight after that, and that's when it happens. That's all I got. May I have a word? Oh, so they are 3D character models. Got it. Yeah, makes sense. Yeah, I think there were 3D character models from the 3DS era onwards, right? Though it makes sense. Less work, I guess, in the long run. Versus having to hand draw everything 2D wise. Professor, I didn't know you were coming. Well, this case has a permanent significance to me. Not personal. But never mind that for now. I saw a guy. You should go immediately to the judge's chambers. To His Excellency Chambers? Why? He was looking for you before. And you advocating for the defense in this trial was a sudden decision. It seems like there is some confusion about the procedures today as a result. Who is this man? I feel as though I've seen him at the university before. I see. I'll go at once then. I shall accompany you. Alright then, Ryanosuke. I'll see you in the courtroom. Yes, thanks, Kazuma. So am I even gonna do anything in this first trial? Because I'm on trial here, so am I gonna even get to do anything? This is awkward. If I may. Yes, sorry. You must be the defendant, Ryanosuke Naruhodo, I believe. Yes, that's right. My name is Eugene Maikatoba. I'm a professor for forensics and medicine at Yukenai University. Ah, Professor Maikatoba. I've heard that name from Kasuma before. As I recall, he's been pushing to get the government to agree to Kasuma studying abroad. So you guys told me about you. You and he are best friends, I understand. As such, I feel like you should know. Know what? Well, as you've no doubt heard, Asogo has been granted permission to go and study in Great Britain. However, if he should fail to defend you in today's trial, the death penalty. I'm afraid that permission would be revoked and never granted again. Oh, jeez. So he's gonna prove himself here, or otherwise he's screwed. What? Ah, as I suspected. You aren't aware of this. Had a feeling Asoga might have chosen not to tell you. He's agreed to defend me, knowing that if he fails, his dreams will be shattered. But I don't understand. Why would this government do such a thing? The administration has chosen a large number of applicants for overseas study. It's very difficult to persuade them to grant permission, even in these most favorable of circumstances. I don't believe it. But I didn't do it, I swear it. I'm not a murderer. I'm sure that's true. Nevertheless, I can assure you that proving your innocence will be no easy task. You see, there are certain peculiarities about today's trial. Sorry? What do you mean? You'll understand once proceedings get underway. But then what should I do? Well, naturally I'm not going to suggest doing anything that could lead to a conviction. Right, so as soon as the trial starts, the judge will pose a certain question to the defense. When that happens, you must answer before anyone else. You must say, I do. I do? But what would the question be? Surely not. Do you accept the accusations brought before you? Of course not. Defend it. Court is about to begin. Proceed to the courtroom at once. Surreptitious? Never seen that word in my life. Discussions are about to be cut short. Allow me to summarize. Kazuma Askoi, as must not be the defense lawyer in this trial. Of course, as the defendant, the final decision is yours. What are you waiting for? Do you want to be found guilty for failing to appear? So it's going to be like, no, you step down. I'm going to represent myself. Oh, okay. Get moving. There's no point in anybody advocating for the lives of you anyway. So he's like, I can't let my best friend take this risk and screw up his chances. This is it. If this trial goes badly, Kasuma's dreams of studying abroad are over, and what's more, I'll be found guilty of murder. And so, with absolutely no idea of what lays ahead, I embarked on that unforgettable trial. My one and only chance of proving my innocence. The trial will decide my destiny. November, 9 a.m. Supreme Court of Judiciary, Courtroom 2. So this is the courtroom? Supreme Court of Judiciary. No court in this land has more power. I don't much like the look of these people sitting here in the public gallery. Lots of military and other uniforms in there. The powers that are demanding this is a secret trial. A secret trial? A trial that's closed to ordinary members of the public. Only military and government officials may attend. What? But why? It'll become clear in time, but for now, you need to concentrate, Ryunosuke. It's about to begin. And what's the judge look like? Oh, not bad. Still bearded. Yeah, I think the judge in the original Ace Attorney series has a very distinctive look, and like it looks the same in all the games, so like a little bit different, but kind of similar vibe. The court will now hear your trial of Ryunosuke Naruhodo. Prosecution is ready, Your Excellency. And so is the defense. Before we begin, there is one point of order that I'd like to confirm. Yesterday evening, the defense made a last-minute request for a change of advocate. That's correct, Your Excellency. I made the request myself. Normal procedure is defendant's advocacy to be decided 2 ways prior to the trial. This is an unusual circumstance. I'm obliged to ask for a final confirmation now. Who advocates for the defendant in this trial? He's going to say, I do. This is it. This must be the question. Who's going to defend me? That's the question the professor meant. Oh, so he's going to speak up for himself. So he's going to accidentally represent himself. But then if I say I do, I need to answer quickly. What should I do? Sure. Actually, what happens if we wait and see? I wonder. Kasuma's the lawyer here. I can't defend myself. If I said I do, it would be tantamount to lying. And I'd be accused of a murder, for goodness sake. There is no time for lies. Try to stop fidgeting, Ryunosuke. It's distracting. But if I don't say I defend myself now, this could end very badly for my friends. Your Excellency, no confirmation is needed. I'm standing here beside the defendant. I hope it's clear who advocates for his... But... I just great, I'm just gonna say. Interrupt him. What does the meaning of this unruly outburst? I would like to inform the court that I, Ryunosuke Naruhodo, will be defending myself. You'll be... What? What are you playing at, Ryunosuke? So he's accidentally gonna become a lawyer, and it turns out he's an excellent prodigy in the long run. Professor Mike Koba told me everything just now before the trial. He did what? He said that your dreams are standing abroad to be dashed if you were to lose. How sad. It means you don't have faith in me. You think I won't be able to get you off? No, it's not like that, really. It's just that, well, on the off chance that things don't go well for me, I could bear to be the reason that you... Yes, I knew that's how you'd feel, which is exactly why I decided not to tell you. Professor Mikey Kobath should have stuck his nose in. Very well. The court hereby recognizes the defense decided to advocate for himself in today's trial. Well, well. Does that accused admit defeat already? Renouncing his own counsel? Really? And it looks very familiar. It looks very similar to the guy that you very first go against in the very first Ace Attorney game. Like, he's got the same kind of, like, you know, look. Same kind of, like, balding glasses look. Like, facial structure is the same as everything.
Objection!
Make no mistake, counsel. This merely shows the defendant's innocence is so apparent he's confident that he can speak for himself. Nice graphics, yeah, not bad. Yeah, I think this is the first console Ace Attorney game that they've actually made. Yeah. Yeah, because they're always either ports of older games. Because I believe that these were like handheld games until this one. So I like the hand-painted 3D look. Yeah, it's not bad. Yeah, and I believe this was the art style that they started going with in the 3DS era. Because from the Game Boy Advance and the DS era, they were like hand-drawn 2D, but 3DS onwards, all 3D. Yes. Yeah, and I did play through the first one on the 3DS, and that was really good. I very enjoyed that. And I tried the second one for the 3DS, but I kind of got stuck. I don't know. It was like some sort of like weird gimmick where I couldn't understand it, and I was like, nah, I'm done with this. I'm all good. I was like more or less just doing the same thing over and over again. I'm like, I don't get it. I don't know what I'm doing. Isn't that so, Naruhodo-san? Hmm? Oh, yes, exactly. Exactly what I wasn't thinking. I'm not confident at all. In fact, my mind's a complete blank. I realize you're in charge now, but still, try not to look so bewildered. Huh. Well, for a mere university student to be brought in before the Supreme Court, you must have perpetuated the most horrendous crime indeed. As you are no doubt aware, the Supreme Court of the Judiciary in Japan, accordingly, the very highest standards of conduct are expected of all present. Do I make myself clear to defendant Naruhodo? Yes, Your Excellency. It is therefore my duty to assess your competence for the task you have to have undertaken. My competence? What does that mean? He's questioning your ability to do the job. Well, it can't be questioning it more than I am. So let's start with the very simplest of questions. Yes? Kindly state before the court the name of the victim in this case. Well, that's easy enough. I've heard his name more times than I'd like to care to remember. But... wait. I'm so nervous, I can't even remember that. What was it again? Right, Inosuke. Yeah, I think it's, in the second Ace Attorney game, there's actually a sequence that happens at the very start of the game where the protagonist, he like loses his memory for a brief moment, so it's kind of like he has to like relearn everything at the very first case of the game. So it's kind of, you know, if you've never played an Ace Attorney game before, it's like, you know, just slowly easing you into it versus I know everything, I've done this before. So I always thought that was kind of smart. Let me guess, your mind's got blank? You know me so well. All the relevant information in this case can be found in the court record. That sounds clever. Yeah, I always thought that was pretty clever. He's like, what was it again? He's like just trying to like wing it on the fly. It's like obviously everyone's like looking at him. He's like, no, I know. It's Yeah, of course, this. But I can't even find that. It's simple. You can access the court record with the press of R1. You find yourself forgetting something, just consult that. It's all on there. Just have to press R1 for the court record. Alright then, there's no time to lose. I'm gonna do it. Sick. Oh, and this is a place your badge. Yeah, because you always because you can present the badge as evidence, like at any point in time, but it's like always like a meme. It's like, what are you doing? What are you doing showing me that? It's like, idiot. This list of evidence I've collected. Try switching the people with R1. Ah, I see. Find details about the victim here. When you're done, press circle to go back. Sick. Ah, okay, so this is the guy who died. John H. Wilson. Ordinary name. So remember, everything to do with the current case can be found in the court record. Now, you better keep His Excellency waiting any longer. Go on. Find the victim and people in the section of court record, and then press triangle to present. Try it now. Alright. Can I... Oh, that'd be hilarious if, like, the judge was in here. It was you, right? Or myself. It was me. I killed myself.
Yes!
The victim's name was Dr. John H. Wilson. Yeah, and I believe, like, in the first case, you can mess up as many times as you want. I believe it's later on. There's certain points where you only have a certain amount of times you can mess up and it's game over. But I believe in, like, the early cases, you can just mess up as many times as you want. Well, at least you can remember the name of an esteemed member of your own university. Dr. Wilson is visiting a professor from England, invited to Yuma University 3 years ago. Indeed, which is the reason why this case has such profound implications. The British Empire is at present our country's most valuable foreign ally, and that most of you will be aware of signed a new treaty together with lengthy negotiations. There can't be anyone who hasn't heard of the Anglo-Japanese Treaty of Friendship and Navigation. And yet, despite these delicate circumstances, the blood of an Englishman has been spilt on our soil. You two are both undergraduates at Imperial Yuma University, are you not? Murdering a professor from the very institution that provides you education. Have you no honor? I didn't do it. But this is coming under great scrutiny from our allies from the other side of the world. The court themselves wishes for a speedy resolution for this matter. Huh. In other words, our feeble government is scared of upsetting England's policy makers. And you're convenient and expendable to scapegoat to blame for his crime. So that's why this trail has these unusual peculiarities, is it? Exactly, our government needs to convict someone as quickly as possible. All because the victim was an Englishman. Yes, Dr. Wilson was an Englishman. Still, but nationalities and tendencies won't make any difference for me here. The fact is, I was there at the scene of the crime. Had your gun in the hand and everything. Take a plea deal real quick. I need an out. You take cash. Cash, good. Yeah. Just take this and forget everything that ever happens. Yeah. Take the gun too. Yeah, it's okay. Oh dear, look at the time. I better get going. Alright, I'll see you later. I think I'll stay and enjoy the place a little bit longer. Good idea. After all, it's not every day you get to visit a high-class Western restaurant like this. See you in ladies' class tomorrow then, partner. Okay, so this is just before it happens. Right? Most likely. The British Empire. Wow, it's incredible to think. Wait. Is that him there? I've seen that man in university. I'm sure he's visiting a professor from Great Britain. I don't know his name, but still. I should go say hello. And then the gun slips out of his pocket, then shoots him when it hits the floor, and then he grabs it. He's got his gun in his hand. Clearly he did it. Oh, excuse me. And then I went over to the professor's table. Ah, yeah, it's him. And introduced myself to Dr. Wilson. Now then, let me pose my next question to you, defendant Norhoder. Yes, Your Excellency. How did this professor of medicine, Dr. John H. Wilson, lose his life? State before the court the cause of death. The cause of death? Well, obviously that was, Ryanosuke. Remember that in court, every assertion has to be backed up by evidence. By evidence? But how? That's like the most fucked up thing about the Ace Attorney series, though. It's like really annoying. You have to kind of like back a person into a corner. Because like, they'll be like, oh, it was like this. Haha, here's the evidence that proves you. Otherwise, you're a liar. Oh no, I wasn't like this. It's actually like this. Oh no, here's the evidence that proves that. Oh no, it's actually like this. Like they can just like make up shit on the fly. It's super annoying. So you have to kind of like prove them otherwise, like catch them in their lies over and over again. So in a distant way, yes. Sounds a little bit like the insult sword fighting in Monkey Island. Oh, I see. Not familiar, but sounds about right. Yeah, I never played that series, Monkey Island. What was it? They did a new one, but I'm not sure. I don't like the art style. It looked kind of shit, to be honest. It didn't look too great. It's like, hey, we're bringing back Monkey Island. It looks kind of crappy. It's like, I don't know. I'll pass on that. Monkey Island 3 is incredible. I'll have to check that out. 1 and 2 or 3 are good. After that, all trash. Yeah, no doubt. Yeah. Find a piece of evidence that shows the professor's cause of death, then present it. Do it now! Sure. So if we open this... time of death. Oh. Cause of death. Single bullet fired from a close range. Fatal hemorrhage from the pectoral. Ballistic trauma. No exit wound. Bullet did not pass through the body. Also still in the body. So they can align the bullet with the gun. Right?
Yes!
Well... According to this document, the victim suffered a hemorrhage death due to the gunshot trauma. Let me read, you imbecile. That's the most post-mortem report, I take it. Sorry, yes, that's right. The post-mortem report. In the West, a doctor dissects corpses to identify the cause of death as an autopsy. But here in Japan, a police officer merely inspects the body and draws conclusions that way. Really? That's kind of not good. They could just make up anything they wanted. Cause of death? They slipped and fell. Yes, of course. You get into sword fights and the pirate will insult you. You have the list of possible comebacks. You wish you win if you push forward, 3 pushes in a row. You win 3 successful insults and comebacks. I see. Right. As you go around fighting, you learn multiple insults to build your library, and then some comebacks can be used for multiple insults anyway. It's cool. Right. That sounds a lot like Insult Simulator, but they just took that out and made its own game, so... a little bit. Oh, I see. As long as I'm not going back to be tested on any of this later. This is the so-called photographic print of the scene of the crime. You can clearly discern scorch marks around the bullet hole produced by the powder explosion. In other words, we should assume that the victim was shot at close range. Thank you, counsel. The court will accept this modern scientific evidence into the record. The photograph print of the victim has been entered into the court record. So that's a photograph print. Well, that's something I've never seen before. It's clear it's a very good drawing. The detail's incredible. I guess this would be like the early days of cameras, right? Where you had to like hold it for like 10 minutes and then it develops the photo. Very well, I am satisfied with your answers. Let us start the trial. Yes, I'll probably just do the first trial today, the warm-up trial, and then I'll and then I'll do more next week. Certainly, Your Excellency. So, without further ado, in order to better appraise the court with facts of the case, the prosecution hereby calls as first witness who was there at the scene of the crime when it happened. Does the protagonist change throughout the game? I'm not sure. Yeah, you do play as different characters in some of the games. But I believe it's like for like a majority of the game, it's like Phoenix Wright, and then later it's Apollo Justice. But for this one, it's its own separate spin-off game, so it has different characters accordingly. So, yep. Yeah. Phoenix. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, he's like the main protagonist of the series. But for this one, they just decided to make this one completely different. Different protagonist in the past. This is it then. Huh. I think it may have worked out what the professor had in mind. The professor? You mean Dr. Makatoba? Yes, clearly you're not the defense lawyer today. Not me, but that doesn't mean... Well, I can still act as your assistant. Ah, of course. When he was speaking to me before, he simply said, Kasuma Asogai must not be the defense lawyer in this trial. Yeah, because you always get an assistant that you can, like, rely on. Because the majority of the time it's Mia, and then you get, like, other ones. You get Athena in some of the later games. I think even Apollo is your assistant in some of the games. Can't recall. Has he really been sticking his oar in? Or has he? Maybe, but... Any help you can give me will be greatly appreciated, Kasuma. Well, my first piece of advice is rein in that crazy look at bewilderment and control the cold sweats. Only if you rein in that crazy headbands and control the cold stares first. Yeah, where's that wind coming from? Always billowing in the wind. Alright, so this guy did it. Yeah, this is the ongoing theme with the Ace Attorney games. You gotta accuse everyone. He did it. He did it. Clearly them. Witness, state your name and occupation for the court, please. Of course, my name is Satoyo Hasanonaga. These Japanese names are gonna run me up the wall. My goodness. What was it? What game was I playing where I had a really hard time with the Japanese names? Oh yeah, it was Yakuza. Yeah, this is gonna be similar. So, if I read them incorrectly, sorry. Okay, it's just easier for me to read them incorrectly, so whatever. I am the head waiter at a Western Star restaurant called La Carnival. Are you alright? You seem to be coughing up some, It's a regular occurrence. It really doesn't bother me. Well, it really, really should. You've been coughing for what? X amount of years. Might be a bit concerning. Tuberculosis. As everyone knows, the capital's southeastern quarter was developed for foreign visitors some years ago. It's become a very fashionable district now, full of hotels to accommodate overseas guests. This grim crime occurred in one of the district's so-called restaurants. And a Occidental eatery 3 days ago. Understood, Osaka-san. Will you kindly tell the court of everything that you can about the incidents? At once, sir. And no petty interjections from the aspiring lawyer boy, please. Oh, aspiring maybe, but aspiring? It was just after 2 p.m. on the day of question. We have a few diners on the time of that day. The lunchtime rush was over, so there was only 3 tables occupied. That fits in with my memory of it too. There was hardly anyone else in the place. Ahem. It was when I was in the kitchen putting away crockery and cutlery. A gunshot rang out, so I hurried to the dining area to see what had happened. I found the victim, an English gentleman, slumped in his chair, and standing immediately beside him, gun in hand, was the accused university student.
Yes!
Hold on. Let me just clarify something here. While I did pick up the gun that was found lying on the floor beside the professor, I didn't shoot him.
Objection!
I believe I asked you to refrain from petty interjections. The court wishes to listen to the witness's report on what you saw, you amateur. But the next time you interrupt at an appropriate time, you will be penalized, Defendant Naruhodo. Don't worry, Naruhodo. You will have your chance to fight back. For now, you must quietly listen to the witness. Ugh. But may confirm one point, waiter. Standing beside the victim with gun in hand was the same man we see here in the court today? What's that? Blood? Yes, with that question. I see. And apart from the accused, there was anyone else standing beside the victim? And then he wipes it away. No. There was no one else around that table except the deceased Englishman and the university student. Huh? Wait, what did you just say? There was no one else around that table? What's the matter, Ryanosuke? That's just not right. When you went over to Dr. Wilson to say hello, there was somebody else. There was a woman sitting opposite him at the table. Really? And that's not something the waiter could have missed. I would have been warned about interjecting, but still, what should I do? Interject. I was probably just interject regardless, even if I try to wait.
Yes!
Just a moment, please. Dr. Wilson wasn't alone that day. I'm sure of it. There was a lady sitting with him at the same table.
Objection!
Dear me, what are we going to do with you? With your blatant disregard for court proceedings, I'm beginning to wonder if you're not a fraud. Could it be that the accused of a mere student is not a real lawyer after all? But I'm sure what I saw. Hasanoko-san, is there any chance that you're mistaken? Perhaps your memory of the event is hazy? Yeah, can you prove that there was a woman there? No. The deceased gentleman came to the diner alone. I don't believe it. I actually have a rough plan of the restaurant as it was the actual day. Please have a look at it if you'd like to. Jeez. You sketched that yourself, my guy. Let me see a sketch of the establishment layout you drawn by yourself, I presume? Yes, of course, that's evidence. Can we just make up shit now? That's right, I'm afraid I used the back of my business card. It was a turbulent situation. However, as you can see, the gentleman in question was seated alone. Well, you're clearly very conscientious waiter. Thank you, sir. The court will take this plan and add it to the court record as evidence. You can't do that. Just make up shit. Hey, look, this is a card that says I didn't do it. It's evidence. What the fuck? Well. Is there a problem? Hand the plan to the court officer at once. Of course. Here you are. What was that about? He's been completely calm and collected until now. I believe there's probably something on the other side of the card that he doesn't want us to see, right? Something certainly seems to have shaken him. The waiter's business card has been entered in the court record. This gives me Iron Chef vibes a little bit. I can see that. So, the court has now heard the process of the case. Yes, at the moment the gunshot was heard in the restaurant. The only person in close proximity to the victim was the defendant on trial today. It would seem that we are looking at a black and white case here. Defendant Naruhodo. Yes, Your Excellency? If you admit your guilt at this stage, the court would be willing to look mercifully upon you. In other words, you may have some small repetitive in your terms of inevitable punishment. I called this waiter as an unsworn witness in order to explain the details of the case to the court. But I must warn the defense if you are determined to pursue matters further in this trial. The prosecution has decisive evidence from sworn witnesses who were present at the scene of the crime. Why don't we just call it the lady? Be like, you were there too, right? You exist, right? What do you think I should do, Kasuma? What do you mean? Well, I'm going to be found guilty one way or another, it seems. It wouldn't be sensible to plead guilty at this stage and hope for a more lenient sentence. Everyone keeps telling me this trial is unusual about these peculiarities. You said it, Professor Mike October said it, so what has the judge and the prosecution? I'm scared of what lies ahead if I push this. As I said from the outset, I believe that you're innocent. I trust you. And yet, despite knowing that, you're willing to throw that trust back in my face? Is that it? What? If the accused is in fact innocent, then a defense lawyer is duty-bound to prove that innocence by whatever means necessary. Are you just going to abandon that duty? Are you going to give up on yourself? The battle hasn't even begun yet, Ryanosuke. I would have a game where the person who's found guilty and they have to bargain their way out of jail with criminals. Yeah, that'd be interesting. Although I'm pretty sure there's like a lot of jail-type simulator games out there. I think I tried one a while back and I didn't really like it too much. Yeah. Well, it's more or less like I try to do like what was right, like not what I was supposed to do. It's like, you know, you gotta go to your cell by this time, you gotta go to the lunchroom by this time. It's like, you gotta spend like, you know, all the time you can trying to break out. And I was like, I gotta do the right thing. So, I don't know. Probably just not my type of game. The defense pleads not guilty, Your Excellency. We invite the prosecution to stop making empty threats and bring on its witness. Then we'll just see how decisive the evidence really is. Okay, so like he inspires him, no doubt, because you see like the way he like points like that. That's very Phoenix Wright-esque. So no doubt he's probably gonna imitate him in later cases. I remember streaming Grand Theft Auto 5 with some streamers that end up in jail. I'll like with the Grand Theft Auto 5 roleplay. Right. That's it? Yeah, I remember that was like very popular. I'm not sure if people still do Grand Theft Auto roleplay. I think I tried to like watch some person do it once and I'm like, I don't really get it. Like, I don't understand. You play the game so much, you gotta make a game within the game. Okay. Nah, I'm good. I'd rather just play the game. That's just me, though. Indeed. Prosecutor Aducci, please continue with the proceedings. Well, you were warned. The young can be so reckless. You know, many call me a saint, but I can be a devil when I want to be. Also, I noticed like the text box is kind of like mildly skewed. Like it's like not straight. Like as you can see, like the couch is straight here, but it's kind of like on a slight angle going downwards like that. I just noticed that. Interesting. Oh yeah, and this part's kind of like skewed as well. Like this part's going like up slightly. Interesting. I see you, Capcom. The open world is great. I didn't like the story too much. I didn't get far though. I love the story in Grand Theft Auto 5. Yeah, I think you got to get to the point where you start playing as Trevor. I think it's really good. Yeah, I very much enjoyed the character of Trevor. Excellent. So if you only played a little bit, you probably didn't get to that point. So yeah, but it makes me wonder how the story of Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to be. I'll probably play like a little bit of that on the stream. I think I'll like play like a majority of that on my own, to be honest. Should give it another try? Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I love the story of 5. Very good. I played through it multiple times. Excellent. Yeah, it's probably my favorite Grand Theft Auto story out of all of them. For sure. What was that? Oh, yeah. Ugh. In a few short moments from now, that dumbstruck young mouth of yours will be silenced forever. The prosecution calls its next witness. Very well, officer. Bring forth the witness at once. Oh, so we don't even have to prove this guy wrong. We're just going to move on to the next person. Okay. Sure. Is it going to be the lady? Who the hell is this guy? These guys. Witnesses, kindly state your names and occupations for the court. I think he said nobody else was there. Like, who else saw? Nobody else was there, but here's some more witnesses. Uh-huh. Yes, sir. The great Nippon's Imperial Army Sergeant Asaya Nosa reporting for duty, sir. Myself, I find employers a purveyor of fine articles of antiquity from the effluence of our nation, Nippon. Also, why are we doing two people at once? Like, what? And conduct my trade from Rusatai, the humble premises in the 2nd District, Korea, at your service. An antique dealer and a soldier. What an unusual pairing. Both of these gentlemen were present at the restaurant on that day of the question. They must be the diners at the other table and the waiter mentioned. Myself, I habitually make a tea of the most expensive aroma of the establishment in question, always post-noon, and not infrequently converse with the interested parties regarding the curious, which I make my business. I can't understand a word that old man is saying. Yeah, like it's very long-winded, and there's a lot of words I wouldn't ordinarily use. So even I'm having trouble reading it. As an antique dealer, it sounds like a regular La Carnival. He seeks out potential customers who may have an interest in antiques and tries to sell his wares to them. He obviously targets La Carnival because it's a high-class restaurant with a rich clientele. Right, I see. Though, to be honest, that sergeant looks like maybe more of a seller rather than a buyer. Now, you both witnessed the precise moment of the most atrocious incidents. Is that correct? Affirmative. The enemy unit has been attacking the foreigner in what can only be described as an act of war, sir. Is that black uniform rogue infantryman over there who was unloaded of his firearm, sir? Also, why was like a baby noise? Like, what was it? This man is impossible to understand as any other. But I'm almost sure I heard a strange noise during that last thing he said. Yeah, I was gonna say, I had like a baby cry or something. What was that about? So this was a decisive evidence to the prosecution was threatening. The soldier was claiming that he actually saw the precise moment he shot the victim dead. Yes. Well, are you starting to feel uncomfortable? If I'm honest, I was feeling uncomfortable from the start. Now, the court will hear your formal testimony, please. You will state everything you saw at the precise moment that the incident occurred. Yes, sir. Standing at ready to report, sir. Unsavory memories the most Arabic afternoon. What the witness saw. I was ingesting a regulation beefsteak at the old restaurant while having a tactical discussion with the old man. Myself, I was extolling the virtues of a particularly fine golden cuirass to the military gentleman. At the precise moment a firearm was discharged, I observed the enemy's actions with my own eyes, and the black uniformed varsity cadet fired on the English civilians, and from the back, the cowardly little weasel, from the back. That's impossible, because didn't the bullet go in the front? I was on my hands and knees investigating the whereabouts of my mysteriously absconded precious curio. Well, so you, Sergeant Nose, actually witnessed the vital moment. You saw the split second when the defendant fired the weapon at the victim. Yes, sir. Affirmative, sir. That wicked... It's like throwing me off, baby noise. That wicked university cadet, sir. The cruel and unforgivable enemy. What times we live in when English gentlemen may be assailed in the broad light of day. But this is ridiculous. I didn't shoot anyone. Is that really true, Ryanosuke? Yes. Well, I just picked up the gun I saw lying on the floor. After I said hello to Dr. Wilson, I went back to my table and started drinking some coffee. Then, when I'd finished, I got up from my seat to leave in the restaurant, when I noticed an English-made gun next to the chair where the professor was sitting. So you didn't hear the gunshot at all? I thought perhaps the professor had dropped it. So I bent down, and just as I was picking it up, the cops came in. Oh, so there was a secondary gun? I see. Well, that's the truth. There was obviously a criminal on the scene somewhere. And somewhere in these two witness testimonies, there's a clue into who that criminal was. There is? Ryanosuke, you must exercise your right to cross-examine the witness. Cross-examine? Yes, this is where you gotta prove it's like, you're lying, son of a bitch. Here's my evidence. Do it now. We heard, Your Excellency. There is no room for doubt in the testimony of these witnesses. The defendant is clearly guilty. It's time to bring this despicable student to justice. Certainly. The testimony of court has heard it eliminates any verge of doubt. Therefore, it is my grave duty to declare the verdict of this trial. What in the name of Emperor's Dominion of this outburst? I mean, the defense demands the right to cross-examination. Dear me, dear me. Let me guess, the Yamaki headband boy next door told you to do it? How pathetic. Huh? How did you know? The prosecution objects. This is a clear waste of time. The defendant obviously has no experience. How can he possibly carry out a cross-examination?
Objection!
The defense is asserting its right to a cross-examination. Whether or not you think he's capable of it is irrelevant. Good. Consumer is so commanding. Very well. Let the defense cross-examination of the witness. Alright, this is where the battle really begins, Ryanosuke. But I don't even know what to have to do in a cross-examination. Isn't it obvious? You have to expose the lies in the witness's statements. How? Well, he didn't fire the gun, which means the soldier has to be a lie. Well, yes, but it's the case of proving it. And the key to doing it is evidence. Right. Evidence. All you need to do is present some decisive and indisputable evidence that proves the witness is lying. Now let's go, Ryanosuke. Don't let them beat you. Yeah, I know exactly what to do. Alright then, it's all or nothing. He like tries to be like him, but he like kinda falls a bit flat. He's not quite there yet, but I'm guessing after this case he'll be like all fired up. What the witness saw. Okay, so we do have 5 points where we can fuck up. Okay, so alright. So not here. Fire an English villain from the back. Okay, so here. So we go. Where is it? Yeah, a gunshot through the chest, right? Yeah, because he said it shot you through the back, so it's like the evidence says that he shot you through the chest, so this says otherwise.
Yes!
What? What are you playing at, cadet? What is the meaning of this subordination, thrusting this wad of papers in my mustache? Inconsistency, sir. I mean, yes. There's a clear inconsistency here. What nonsense. What could this document possibly tell us that we didn't already know? Well, obviously, that, I know what I want to say, but the words just won't come out of my mouth. I think this proves beyond a doubt, Your Excellency, that there is no place for amateur student here in the Grand courtroom. This is so frustrating. Oh, please. Sure, this doesn't require explanation. It should be just more than plain. Spelled out would be an insult to the court. Kazuma, what? What are you talking about? It's apparent from a single glance at the post-mortem report presented by the defense that there's a clear discrepancy here with the sergeant's statements. What? Sergeant Ayasa Nosa. Yes, sir. What, sir? The statement you just gave was made was this. The black uniform varsity cadet fired on the English civilian from the back. The cow, the little weasel. Yes, sir. Affirmative, sir. I witnessed the crime with my own military-grade eyes, sir.
Yes!
But no, that can't be. And why not, cadet? Because, as it clearly stated in the post-mortem report, fatal hemorrhage from the pectoral, ballistic trauma, no exit wound, bullet did not pass through the body. The photograph print of the victim clearly shows the same thing. Oh, so I could have presented the photograph as well. The victim, Dr. Wilson, died from the bullet wound to the chest. Sergeant, according to your witness statement, the culprit shot the victim from behind. And this is obviously a discrepancy here. Well, how do you explain it? Ooh, oh, there is a baby. Well, oh, so that's why he's got the, oh, okay, so it's like straps for the baby to sit in behind him. I was only thinking it was like a weird noise, but he's actually holding a baby. What? What was that? Something just kind of popped up from behind his back, but he pushed back down again. Certainly there is a cheap discrepancy here with the facts here. The baby did it, yeah, exactly. You did it, the baby did it. Yeah, it's like The Simpsons, the baby did it. You would not agree, Sergeant Nosa? Yes, sir. At this junior that it would appear to be indisputable. Until the moment I heard the firearm discharge, my eyes were firmly fixed on the delicious lacanable steak, sir. What? The last testimony court heard proven one thing beyond all reasonable doubt. This witness, Sergeant Ayasa Nosa, did not see the defendant firing a gun at all. Ugh, that's absurd. I think the conclusion you must draw here is simple. There is no place for an amateur prospector here in this grand courtroom. Yeah. Yeah. Got him. There's been a complete turnaround in the mood of this trial, just from that one discrepancy. That's the power of law. So what has been an ace attorney is all about? He said the thing. He said ace attorney. He did it. But I definitely saw him. That university cadet there is pointing the firearm directly at the victim's back.
Yes!
But I never fired the gun. I just pick it up from the floor. And you, old man, you didn't see the moment the victim was shot either? Myself, already being quite clear. The gunshot interacted me not. I was far too busy on the floor. too busy on the floor. Sorry, what were you doing? Hunting for treasure. Treasure. Indeed. The Hoya era Koban, my prized coin. On each occasion when I visit that restaurant, it is my habitude to place in my bosom pocket a particular trinket from interest from my shop, Recite, in the hope of meeting a rich diner who may like to buy from you. On the day under scrutiny, it was to be the military man that I preferred my Hoy treasure. I believed he would purchase such a rare find. I did not, but I was unprospective in my little alternative. And then, after averting my eyes from the briefest of moments, it was no more. It simply vanished. The cocaine vanished. Hunting around under the table, I was, in case may happen to fall in there, and then it happened. You heard the gunshot, you mean? Indeed I did, but I heeded not. I was only concerned only for finding my obscure Hoy treasure. Nothing could distract me. Out of interest. Did you find the coin in the end? No. I see. That lamentable day, the precious Hoy coin was lost to me. No doubt some inscrutable scoundrel pocketed the prize coin for himself. Yes, of course, somebody that's not right next to you, right? As I'm sure everyone is present is aware, this case demands a swift and decisive resolution. Our government has promised to send a full report to Great Britain by telegraph this very afternoon. Nevertheless, this witness testimony the court has just heard was inconclusive. No matter how subservient our government feels, it must be the British. Also, 1 second, my phone getting noise. Oh, somebody posted a story. That's cool. I'll make sure to turn that notification off. It would be unforgivable to deliver that verdict on the trial right now. What is your position, Prospector Aducci? Yeah. Worry not, Your Excellency. The defendant may have fled into that tiger in the front gate, but we will find a wolf at the back. My witness have further testimony to make. Explain. Upon hearing the next statements, it will become absurdly clear that there is only one person who could possibly have committed these despicable crimes. The equally suspended defendant, Ryanosuke Naruhodo. What? He really seems to have a despicable opinion of you, doesn't he? Ugh. Very well. The court invites the witness to testify again. You will thoroughly explain the reason behind this prosecution's allegation. Is that clear? As clear as circular glass, Your Excellency? Yes, sir. At once, sir. Awaiting signal to testify, sir. Yes, here's where they change their story slightly. No, it's like, no, it was like this. And then it's like, hey, what you just said, I found another inconsistency. And then it's like, oh, no, it was actually like this. So, yeah, it just keeps on going until they eventually, you can eventually stonewall them and put them in the corner. And then they more or less be like, alright, I did it. Fine. Excuse me, but I think there's someone peeking over your shoulder. I think. Affirmative. The newest member of the Gnosis family to rise up to the ranks, sir. Name, Ido. It would seem that those straps are assigned to the sergeant being too strapped to afford an Annie. Ido. Teen-shun. Your father is about to quell the enemy. Watch and learn, my boy. Interesting idea for a game. Yeah, well, this is a series that's been long running, like, for some time. I mean, since the Game Boy Advance days, so... Yeah, definitely people are, you know... And this was, like, the whole entire idea behind the game as well, because, like, it's mostly text, so, you know... It was mostly on handheld, so you take your handheld with you, and, you know, you play it on the train, you play it on the bus, you know, whenever you have a spare moment, so... Anime and their boogers, nose bubbles. Yeah, I know, right? Whenever you fall asleep, do a big nose bubble. Even if what I saw wasn't the precise moment that the firearm was discharged, it's almost the same thing. Yes, the property pointing his gun at the foreign man was that the young lad in black. That much of myself I did see. Furthermore, a visual search of the premises this time confirmed that the two were only personnel present. Indeed, alone he was, the Englishman, dining all by himself. Therefore, no one other than the black uniformed cadet could have dispatched the Englishman. Over and out. Okay, so how do we do this? Those testimonies are certainly compelling. Wait, that's nonsense. The victim, Dr. Wilson, wasn't alone at all. Please, enough of those outbursts already, but we have no evidence of that, so how are we supposed to prove them? There was a woman, there was a young woman at this table. You must have seen her, everyone must have seen her.
Objection!
If you call yourself a lawyer, then you respect the rules of the court and speak accordingly. We are not here to listen to your fantasies. Ugh. There's evidence beyond all reasonable doubt that the victim was alone at the time of the incident. The prosecution of this photographic evidence of this fact. Had this photograph printed at the scene of the crime, counsel? Yeah, and I guess also since this one was also on, Switch, so you can take your Switch with you and you can play it, on the go. So it has that appeal as well. Indeed, at the table of which the victim was dining, taken by an investigator immediately after the incident. Oh, so we get new evidence. Ah, okay. But this doesn't help us at all, I don't think. As you can plainly see, there is only one place set. Certainly, based on the appearance of this print, it would be reasonable to conclude the victim was not in the company of anyone else. This doesn't make any sense. The court will add the new photograph evidence to the record. The photograph printed the crime scene was added to enter the court record. I don't understand. What's going on here? It's just not possible that nobody else saw that woman. The waiter before said the same thing. He maintains that Dr. Wilson came to the restaurant alone as well, unless she hid under the table. It's like they literally couldn't see her because she was underneath the table. Maybe. But that's not true. I saw her. I swear I saw a woman with him. It would seem that we'll be able to telegraph the report to Great Britain on time after all. The witness testimonies have just heard and leave no further room for doubt. These are very sensitive political times. As we all know, the ink is still fresh on the Treaty of Great Britain. To think that I, Takuchi Aduchi, have contributed to the amnesty of these two great empires in its honor. How can this be happening? The judge is ready to rule. Stand tall, Raidosuke. It's not over yet. What? If what you say is true, then there's something going on here behind the scenes. And now is your chance to expose it, to draw out the truth in your cross-examination. I don't know, Kizuma. The defense is entitled to cross-examine the witness, but make it quick. Understood? Rules can be so unbending at times. Ugh. Alright, so we'll go over the evidence and we'll see what we have. Find those inconsistencies. Okay. Right, so what do we got? Examine time of death, shortly after 2 p.m. Alright, no exit wounds. Okay, so I don't think we do this. Okay, so is this consistent with the other photo? It is. Looks like it. Yep, looks exactly the same. Or does it? Oh, hang on. Is there less of the steak left? Oh, hang on. Oh, it's hard to say that. It's hard to say the chair's in the way. Did you see that Japanese politician that embezzled money and spent it going to spa restaurants and hookers? He went up and caught like one of these characters. Really? Hilarious. Yeah, I never heard about that. I never saw that, really. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I swear. Yelling and crying hysterically, yeah. Yeah, I guess at that point in these games where they go off. Or it's like the more they get exposed, like the more they go off the handle, so. Became a meme? Oh, really? Interesting. Alright, so what do we got? Magnifying glass. Why we zoom in? But why? What's this gonna prove? Okay, so I don't think we have... Okay, so this is the new piece of evidence, right? So it's gotta be something with this. Correct? Correct. Okay. Well, let's see here. Yes, pointing his gun at the foreign man was that young man in black. That much I myself did see. A visual search of the premises that time confirmed that there were only one personnel present. Okay. Hang on. Wait. But there's multiple chairs, right, in this diagram that you drew? And how many chairs are in this photo? 2. Would that have something to do with it? Maybe. Perhaps. Indeed, alone he was, the Englishman dining all by himself. No other than the black uniform cadet could have dispatched the Englishman over and out. Oh, this is hard. Why did they make the first case so hard? A visual search at the time confirmed that we were the only personnel present. Oh. Hang on. Hang on, we can go. Can we not do portraits? Oh, we can't. Okay. We're gonna do evidence. Okay, so we can't. Yeah, because some in the Ace Attorney games you can present portraits to be like this person. Oh, we're talking about this person, right? Yeah. I'm thinking maybe this. Also, why is it giving the option to zoom in? I don't understand why. Is there something I need to check? Some kind of smudge? Not sure. Alright, I'll present this bottle of carbonated water. Ah, it's me. I'm in the game. That's what I'm thinking. That much I self did see. Oh, that's right. Yeah, I can press them as well, can't I? So I can be like, what'd you really mean by that? Oh, that's right. Yeah, I can try to get more information about him, can't I? Yeah. I forgot you could do that.
Yes!
No, it's not the same thing at all. For a start, I didn't fire that gun. You have a different opinion on that. The opinion of the uniformed officer versus that of fledgling cadget. I don't think so. Consider this, defendants. For a moment ago, I blinked. Did you? Did you see it? Did you see me blink? How could I? And yet it was an undeniable fact that I did blink. And so there you have it. Of what? Teen shun. The sound of the firearm rang in my ears, and the very next moment I saw you waving the gun, Englishman. I think that says it all. Don't you? Yeah. And let us not forget that the antiques dealer witnessed the accused in the most incriminating position as well. Isn't that so, Curry-san? Yeah, then we continue. Yeah. So it's more or less like, you know, as if they were speaking normally, but you like get like an extra like bit of, you know, information, perhaps, if it's relevant. It'll put it in. So it's more like you can press them on everything, so, and not get penalized for it, so you may as well.
Yes!
Just in case you get like a little bit extra. Yes, it may be true I was holding a gun at that point in time, but I've told you already, it's only because I picked it up off the floor. Well, obviously, as the culprit, and that's not the only way you can explain it anyway. I just had finished drinking my coffee, and I was about to leave the restaurant when I noticed a gun on the floor on Dr. Wilson's feet, so I picked it up. And exactly that moment, a gunshot rang out in my ears. Full of evidence beyond our control. Life is. Sorry? What do you mean? In your case, you found a pistol on the floor and picked it up with the perpetuated this testing predicament. Whereas conventionally, I failed to pick up the Coben off the floor and did find myself in an equally testing predicament as a result. Anyway, the fact remains, myself, I did see you, with the pistol in hands, standing over the foreigner. Okay, so I can press him on this as well. You must have noticed someone else's Dr. Wilson's table. There was a lady there. As you've been at this pains, the point of time and time again, I'm growing the callus in my ear. And yet no one else appears to have caught even a glimpse of this woman. If only there'd be more people dying there at the time, then someone else would have noticed her. Unfortunately, that was already past 2 p.m. when it happened. The quiet time between lunch and dinner in any restaurant. I know, of course, there was a place that was almost empty. What do you expect? Certainly, 2 p.m. is neither here or there in terms of time to eat. Yeah, I think it was like I used to work at a fast food place and doing a like, you know, a like noon to 4 p.m. shift or so on. It was like as soon as I hit 2 o'clock, I was like dead. There was like nobody there, so it happens. I wonder if there was a reason why the victim was eating that time of day and why he was there alone. Yes, Your Excellency, there was indeed a reason. There was? This was found in the victim's jacket pocket. Oh, there we are. What is that, Counsel? Here's a medical report card, Your Excellency. It would seem that the victim had an appointment at the clinic prior to visiting the restaurant. Had a clinic? Yes, there would indeed appear to be an entry to date of the question. It's 19th of November, noon past 1 p.m. The very day of the incident. So the victim went for a late lunch following his appointment. The explanation could have been more simple. The prosecution felt no need to submit the evidence before, as it really has no bearing on the case. I wonder... What do you think, Ryunosuke? Well, it's hard to see how this could be related, really. Remember, you can request for it to be entered into the court record as evidence if you believe it could be useful. Should I ask for Dr. Wilson's medical report card to be submitted to evidence or not? Yeah, sure.
Yes!
Why not? If I may, I'd like to ask for that medical report card to be submitted as evidence, Your Excellency. On what grounds? Yes! Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think it's like, in the original Ace Attorney games, it's either objection or hold up. those are the two ones. But I'm guessing they like switched it up a little bit. Oh, and take that! It's also another good one. The court has already heard the conclusive witness's testimony. Additional evidence would be extraneous. Not to mention that the victim's movements prior to his arrival at the restaurant has no concern.
Objection!
Whether or not they have a concern is up to us to decide. We have the right to explore all possible avenues. I beg your pardon? You have no authority to refuse a perfectly valid request of submission of evidence. Very well. The court will grant the defense's request. Yeah. Youngsters these days are forever asserting their rights. It's the most disturbing trend. Officer, kindly add the victim's medical report to the court record. The victim's medical report card has been added into the court record. What we need right now is new clues. We have to explore things from every possible angle, even if they don't seem relevant at first. Right, I see you. Yeah, you kind of conspired to prolong the trial as much as you like, but it's the day after the festival is already for you. Or perhaps you've forgotten that these witness testimonies leave no room for doubt. Feel free to relate it for the accused, Kaikuta-san. Okay, so let's check out this,
Yes!
Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Am I pressing this about him again? Victim, Dr. Wilson, dining alone? Okay, I pressed the wrong button. Oops. That I did. Forgive me for positioning in the place you in. So the testimonies, the old man, the soldier, and the waiter all agree on that point. Isn't that interesting? And let's not forget the incontestable evidence that we have to support those statements as well. As we can clearly be seeing, there is only a single beefsteak on the victim's table. A meal for one. No. The antique dealer, the sergeant, and the waiter who testified before. It's not impossible they're all lying. But if so, then why? I'm perfectly honest, I have absolutely no idea. Okay, so let me check this evidence. So it has to be something with this, right? Medical report card. I can't look at it though, so... Alright, so I guess I'll press him on the last thing and then we'll see. If we have everything we need, then we should be right to go.
Yes!
And why are you telling the truth? Why? What did you say, cadet? I clearly remember. There was a woman sitting across the table from the professor. Perhaps one of you may not have noticed. But for both of you to have failed to see the professor's dining companion, it's just not possible. Oh, they're holding something back. Unfortunately for you, defendant Naruhodo, it's not just a case of these two witnesses alone. Sorry. The waiter, whose testimony in the court heard earlier, clearly stated the same thing. He also said the victim was alone. That's right. Precisely. In other words, you are a sole proponent of this phantom lady. But if such a woman were indeed present at the scene, prosecution demands to see proof. Yeah, I ain't got nothing. And no such proof exists. The prosecution demands that no further mention of this phantom woman be made. If it is a blatant waste of the court's time, there's nothing I can say to that. Yeah. Excellent work, Ryanosuke. We've gleaned some new information now. Well, yes, but I don't feel like it changes much. I can see that it brings some real discrepancies to light. Oh, I can't. I wouldn't be so sure. Let me see that medical report card you got before. So now we can actually examine it. Oh, you mean this? Yes, this is brand new piece of evidence. So perhaps we should examine it in a little more detail. How exactly? You'll notice that some pieces of evidence bear a magnifying glass. Those are the ones you may examine. Press X and then you can take a closer look at the piece in question. Use R, 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 and R. Oh, we can rotate it. Damn. To rotate the evidence in all directions and examine it from all angles. We're using L, 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 L. You can move the crosshairs around to hunt for clues that may have missed before. The crosshairs start to pulsate. Press X to investigate further. So, partner, I think you should take a closer look at this medical report card. See if there's something new to be learned by examining it in more detail. Alright, I'll see what I can do. I need to use R, 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 and L, 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 and X to inspect any other areas of evidence that look suspicious. Oh, so I just do this one? Well, can I flip it? Oh, I can. Yeah, so I'm gonna try to flip that that other thing they drew a thing on, right? Let's have a look here. Let's have a look. This is some kind of medical history. Ah, and there's an entry for the day the professor was killed. An extraction of molar with topical amnesia, anesthesia. Whatever. Extraction of molar? You mean like he had a tooth taken out? It would seem so. Just before the incident, he had a bad tooth removed. Perhaps they use laughing gas if that's the most modern practice in the West for pain relief. Yes, I've heard this. Anesthesia. Although it's hard to believe there's anything that can actually stop you from feeling pain. Ah, there's a cautionary note from the medical practitioner as well. Strictly no food or drink besides water for the next 3 hours post-procedure until anesthesia's effects have passed. Ah, so you couldn't have possibly eaten that food, right? Ah. Really? Sounds like information worth bearing in mind. The medical report card's information has been updated in the court record. With this new information, the meaning of the one particular statement totally changes. So you see, I think it's time to listen to the testimony again, don't you? Definitely. Okay. Before we do that, R1. Yes, I want to try to flip this, if it'll let me. I can. Primary Criminal Investigation Division. Well, that's unexpected. What is? Look, do you see it says the witness's name here? Saitoru Harunosinaga? Well, yes, business cards do tend to share the person's name. That sort of makes the point. But not the name that's unexpected, it's his job title. His job? Oh, Chief Inspector Satoru Hasunoka, Primary Criminal Division, Imperial Police Bureau. Inspector? What on earth? I have no idea. But let's face it, the police have a lot of power and influence, and they'll be wielding it somehow here. The latest business card information has been updated in the court record. Uh-huh. So basically that'll come up later, right? Anyway. Yeah, so when it's talking about him eating, dining all by himself. Alone he was, dining all by himself. I guess I can present it here or present it here? I suppose. But I'll do that in a second. I'll just use the restroom real quick. Be right back. Oh, I'm back. I guess we can try this multiple times. And if we mess up, it's more or less like we have like multiple chances up there, top right. So yeah, okay. So we can present this, and if we get it wrong, we can try again. Okay. Do it. Or oh, I see. We can present a certain thing. Oh, hang on. Before we do that, then I guess we better inspect the rest. All right. Examine. It says hold a clinic on this medical report card. I hate clinics almost as much as I hate hospitals and surgeries. They aren't all the same. When I was 5, I was caught in an only cold I had in my life. And I remember, even though I felt awful already, to have this hideous injection in my right arm. Ugh. I'll never forget it. Never my whole life. Most people would give their right arm to have only had one cold the whole life. Anyway, I don't think this is the clinic where they treat people for illnesses like that. Let's keep looking for clues. We don't want to miss anything. I see. Alright. It looks like this medical report card was first issued some quite time ago. It's probably a record of a long-time treatment, that's why. With a family doctor, I imagine. Well, I can't imagine going to a doctor. I mean, as long as I'm alive, I'm never consulting one. Well, if you were dead, there'd be no point. So you wouldn't want to be doctors? Don't like doctors then? Why would you? They make you drink horrible-tasting medicine, they give you painful injections, and then they demand lots of money from you in their privilege. And then you're all on your lowest ebb. You sound like a model patient. With a bad taste of stubbornness, no less, with the only cure for a very bitter medicine. Very bitter medicine indeed. Try to say bitter medicine. Okay. Well, I guess we can present this. See what happens. If we mess up, we mess up. That's fine.
Yes!
Well, what about that last statement made by the witness? It seems perfectly reasonable to me. Exactly. Perfectly reasonable in every way. Perhaps you should take a leaf out of the witness's book and learn to be more reasonable yourself. Ah, okay. Alright. I just need to be calm down, think about everything through again from the start. Okay, so... where's the inconsistency? Just thinking, what do we got? Yeah, this is supposed to be the first case. It's supposed to be easy, right? Prohibited from eating or drinking anything but water. Yeah, but they didn't say anything about him eating, so can't do that. Okay. Oh, unless there's something about him being a prospector? Maybe. I don't know, I see how that'd be irrelevant. All dining by himself.
Yes!
Oops, I didn't mean to do that. Why are you telling the truth? Okay, accidentally pressed the button. I accidentally hit R2 or L2. That's quite sensitive. Yeah, I've already read this. Like a fast forward. Okay. We have even more to go on now. I still don't feel like the situation has really changed, though. No discrepancy has come to light, and that's what we need. Oh, I think the situation has changed a great deal. We've come a long way. How so? Because we have just what we need. It's simply a case of using it to advantage now. Then, do you mean there is a discrepancy somewhere? The cruelty point is the victim had been prohibited from consuming anything but water from when he was shot. Yeah, exactly, but they're not talking about that, so how? The fact is not being brought to the court's attention. He's right. Thinking about Dr. Wilson's circumstances at the time of the incident, he puts that particular statement in an entirely different light. Always keep your eye on the progress of the battle. That's the only sure way to win. Okay, so how do we reveal this accordingly? But how? Dining all by himself. Oh, do we do it with this one? Because we're like, hey, it's impossible for him to dine by himself because he couldn't eat the food. Yeah, okay. I guess. Sure. Let's do it. Oh, I mean to present it. There we go.
Yes!
Ah, okay, there we go. Yeah, so when the music cuts out, it's like you got it right, so. I think, what are you withering lad? Call yourself a lawyer? I wish I could, but first and foremost here, I'm the accused. Right, Nosuke. Everyone stumbles on their words occasionally. Under the circumstances, I wouldn't worry about it. Thanks, Kazuma. I would see it quite clearly, the cross-examination you just carried out. When you raised your hand straight up like that, purposefully, you knew exactly what it was you wanted to say. Don't feel like you have to choose your words carefully. Just say what you're thinking. Alright. And thanks for the advice. Now he's calming down, so now he's gonna get to business. Koriko-san, this is a medical report card belonging to the victim. I see. And? I don't see. What of it, boy? Comparing to what is written on this report card with your witness statement. Something clearly doesn't add up.
Attention!
Dear me, have you forgotten my words so soon, you amateur? Sorry, what? You are not to interrupt the court proceedings with your amateurish drivel. But let's see if I can explain in words that you might understand. After 2 p.m. in the afternoon when the victim was murdered at the restaurant. Whatever he may or may not have done before that time is completely irrelevant. Yeah, but that's... Remember, Ryanosuke, you don't have to use clever language or fancy words. Just make your points. Your Excellency, I believe that we're finished here. There is surely no need to prolong this trial further. The witness testimonies in court have been clear and concise. The medical report card has no bearing on the matter at all, for the simple resolution that there is no one besides this pale-faced pup. Oh, so now he's serious, because he did the thing. He put his hands on the table that made the noise correctly. It wasn't like a weak slap. It was the proper done. This medical report card has nothing to do with the case. Do you really believe that? What? That outburst is half petrified, my boy. Of course I believed it. How could I possibly be relevant? Perhaps it's because Hoda Clinic, which issued the report card, is a dental clinic. A dental clinic? Is that supposed to mean something to me? The judge is sweating. Got him on the ropes. Perhaps you were told by a victim that just had a tooth extracted. What's this now? And furthermore, if I told you as a result the victim had been forbidden from eating. Oh no. Just what are you trying to say, cadet? He had orders not to eat, so what? It's all written up in here. No food or drink other than water for 3 hours post-procedure while anesthesia wears off. What? No. That can't... Karakura-san. What, boy? What? As you just heard, when he was killed sometime shortly after 2 p.m., the victim couldn't have been eating anything at all. No. Additionally, there's more? You have assured the court with unwavering self-confidence that the victim was dining alone. But that cannot be possibly be the case. Because the victim, as we know, had just had one of his teeth extracted and was still experiencing the effects of anesthesiac. Ah! Expertly done, partner. Got him.
Objection!
What? What is this nonsense, you little upstart? Those are baseless accusations. Just look at this photographic evidence. You can clearly see the plate of food at the victim's table.
Objection!
Use your head. That's the very discrepancy we're talking about. Or can't you follow the logic? How dare you? I think it's fair to say that the tables in this restaurant's case have turned. And wouldn't you agree, Ryanosuke? Ah, yes, most definitely. So having just undergone some dental surgery, the victim wasn't able to eat. Which leaves one very critical conundrum. Who in fact was eating the pictured beefsteak? The court will hear the opinion of the defense on its new puzzle. I assure you it's ready. Counsel? Counsel? Oh, that means me, doesn't it? Alright, the pitch of this question is going to be proverbial. This is the start of turning this trial around. Show them what you're made of. Got it. So, the person eating the steak at the victim's table must be being... me! The victim... No, just for laughs. I don't think I'm going to penalize.
Yes!
I think it may be me! What?
Objection!
It's not enough that you look like the man's lap, you took his meat as well. That's a bee sting on a Christ's face. Oh, some people think they can do whatever they like. And some people seem to think they can do whatever they like. Right, Osuke. Sorry, you're right, of course I didn't eat it. The next time you make a quip like that, I'll make you eat your words. I think you'll be needing some dental surgery yourself. Alright. I get the message. The person eating the steak at the victim's table must have been... Yeah, we'll do it. Yeah, whatever, we'll do it. Obviously, it couldn't have been someone else who was sitting at the professor's table.
Objection!
You will not let this go, will you? There was no such person.
Yes!
There was, because I saw her. When the incident occurred, we know that the victim could have been eating anything. Yet we know the evidence of her eating steak on the table. Therefore, the only logical conclusion is that there was someone else eating it. We have strong evidence to support our exertion. It's clear that the witnesses' testimonies are unreliable. If the court decides to push through rulings at this stage, we will have lodged a formal complaint with the Ministry of Justice and pursue the fair retrial relentlessly. Kasuma, are you insane? You would take on the government? Don't worry, counsel. I have no issue with you. What do you mean? I have issue with them! Those two witnesses in the stand. What? What are you talking about? We have demonstrated evidence that the victim was not alone. So, if it now turns out the two of you deliberately lied when giving your testimonies, obviously you'd be charged with perjury. Perjury. And since this is a murder trial, you will also be deemed compliant in the killing. Compliant in murder? No! Negative! There was no mention of this little tactical breeding. I was just following orders. That's right. As the man says. Just say whatever you saw, gentlemen. Just say you never saw the gentlewoman. That's what they told us. Oops. Oh. What? What'd you just say, Kikura-san? Oh, no. You were just following orders? Now hold on, lad. I was, say you never saw the gentlewoman? When you say gentlewoman, do you mean you saw the victim with the lady from overseas? What?
Objection!
What is the meaning of all this? These witnesses gave false statements? If it is true, it's true, you pair? Just one simple slip of the tongue. Order, cancel, explain what is going on here. It's painfully clear now. You tried to prevent these witnesses from telling the truth. Absolutely not. The prosecution knows nothing of this. Then who's behind this? Who tried to make you keep your mouth shut? Well, that's classified. You're prepared to be tried as a conspirator to this murder, are you? You wouldn't. This can't be happening. Right, Inosuke. Judging by the way you're reacting to this, I say these two, they were sworn to silence by someone with inconsiderable influence. However, I don't believe Ochi had any idea about it. What are you saying? I mean, to wield that kind of influence, there is only a handful of possibilities. It could only have been the government, the military, or the police, I suppose. Well, any ideas about who might be behind this? If we can affirm who tried to silence the witnesses, then we continue our pursuit. So we need to name whoever it is tried to make the witness keep their mouth shut. Of course, we'll need the evidence before we make any confirmed accusations. Evidence that proves whoever it was really wielded this or her power here. But how? How can we possibly? Remember how we made progress before? We examined this piece of evidence in more detail and found a new clue as a result. Oh yes, that's right. Well, that's just not the only piece of evidence we have, is it? We need to re-examine everything and make sure there's nothing we missed. Flip over everything? Okay. No time to lose. I want answers. If it's proven that the witnesses have been manipulated, I assure you the penalty will be severe. Please, wait. Your Excellency, I had no idea about any of this. I swear to every Shinto god. I knew nothing. And what does the defense have to say about all this? Well, Your Excellency, no time to think. I'm just going to have to close my eyes and shout the first name that comes to my head. It was your mama. Besides the prosecution, the only two persons with the necessary influence to manipulate the witness is... do I have... Okay, so I only got these people in here, do I? Him? I'm not sure if he had anything to do with anything. Or maybe the waiter? Maybe the waiter was like, shh, shut up. I guess. Like, I'd pick the woman, but I don't have the woman's portrait, so... Okay.
Yes!
Well, surely that would be Saitoya Hosonaga-san. Hosonaga-san, the waiter who took the stand earlier?
Objection!
Poppycock. What possible reason would the waiter have to make to these witnesses give false testimony? Not to mention that even the head waiter could not possibly have that level of influence. For once, I would agree with you. That is, the man truly were a waiter. What? If he truly were? Come on, Ryan Yosuke, time to hit this court with the truth. The truth about Saitoya Hayaso's real identity as proven by this evidence. Oh, was it the, Oh, he's a police inspector. Oh, okay. Oh, so it wasn't his card, it was the waiter's card. Oh, okay. Got it. Right. Makes sense. That's why it's like so reluctant to give it over. Ah, okay, I see. Makes sense.
Yes!
The plan of the restaurant sketched by the man in question? I agree it shows a great deal of attention to detail, but I'm not sure if it can include anything. Sorry, Excellency, that's the back of the card. It's the back of the card that's of interest. I beg your pardon? Or perhaps I should have said the front? Yes. It's the front of the back of the card. That's where the telling of detail is. Just flip it over. Would someone please explain to me what this overexcited student is trying to say? Hosonaga-san sketched the plan of the restaurant on the reverse side of the business card. The front of the business card reveals the man in question's profession, his true profession. The waiter's profession? But that's surely... Good gracious. That's right, Your Excellency. The card reads, Chief Inspector, Primary Criminal Investigation Division, Imperial Police Bureau. What? The waiter is a police detective? I haven't heard any mention of this before. Why haven't I heard any mention of this before? The Imperial Police Bureau's immense power, absolute power, as far as regular civilians are concerned. So, witnesses there in the stand. Was it in fact the waiter who gave you the orders? Was it he who told you not to mention that you'd seen the foreign gentlewoman at the scene? Well... Oh, is it gonna be him? Yeah, it's gonna be like, hold it up. Inspector Hosonaga. I was worried something like this may happen. The moment you asked me to submit my sketch as evidence, I realized that it is a possibility. The court will now take this plan added to the court record as evidence. Oh, well... Is there a problem? Hand the plan to the court officer at once. Oh, okay, so he drew it on his own card. Oh, okay. Of course. Here you are. Yes, I remember now. I did act strangely when the judge asked me to hand over his business card. Strive to carry out all investigations flawlessly. It's my guiding principle. But I let myself distracted when I made that sketch. It was unusually a careless mistake. So, you mean to say you really are a detective? But why would a detective be working as a restaurant waiter? Because he's not a restaurant waiter. I was working undercover. Undercover? Yes, that may have been a service of incidents at the restaurant recently. In order to investigate, I decided to get a job. There's a waiter working undercover. Incidents at the restaurant? What kind of incidents? That would be classified police information, which I am not at liberty to indulge. However, I can still state categorically that they are unrelated to this case of homicide. Very well then, Inspector Hosonaga, but will you elaborate on one point for the court? Of course, Your Excellency. We have just heard new information from the two witnesses beside you. That at the time of the shooting, that was a fact or another person present at the victim's table. Yeah, and you said that was just him, right? Busted. But if that is indeed true, clearly you would also have been aware of this person's presence being served at the table in question. However, your testimony did not allude to this other diner, therefore I'm led to assume that your professional capability as a police officer, you required these witnesses to be in agreement. Would that be correct? Correct, Your Excellency. Unbelievable. Huh, as I suspected. As soon as I heard the gunshot, I ran out of the kitchen to see what had happened. The victim was slumped in his chair, and beside him, the gun in hands, I stood the accused student. Sitting opposite the victim at the same table was a young lady who I assumed to be guessed to be an Englishwoman. So the truth comes out. I immediately sealed off the restaurant, and reported the incident to the bureau. It was then I received some special orders. Special orders? You mean to say, remove the Englishwoman from the scene at once? Well, that would have been extremely fast. It was made clear the Englishwoman's presence at the restaurant would be concealed. These are my orders. But what if the Englishwoman was the killer? I think it would be in everyone's best interest not to pursue the idea. The Empire views the friendly terms of relationship with the Britain are more highly than anything at the moment. The Englishwoman has been murdered in our soil, and to name an Englishwoman as the primary suspect, well, without inferiable evidence, it would be completely out of the question. So that's the reason for the disappearance of the found woman in that case. But it's not right. One possibly does spring to mind. What do you mean, Kasuma? My university is currently hosting a member of exchange students from Great Britain, and I'm fairly certain that one of them is studying in the medical facilities research laboratory is a young Englishwoman. What? You're a shrewd man. I can see why you're the chosen candidate for the overseas study tour. You mean, when I removed the woman from the scene of the crime, I thought it prudent to check her identity first. And the court demands you name the lady in question at once, Inspector. The Englishwoman sitting at the university professor's table was a certain Miss Jezebel Brett. She's indeed a foreign student studying in the research laboratory of UMA University's medical facility. What? What is happening here? I met the undercover orders from the police bureau. I erased the old evidence of this lady's presence at the scene, and that ordered the witnesses to make no mention of their testimonies. It must be now up to Your Excellency to describe how to deal with the situation. Very well. My thoughts on the matter are as follows. Thus far, the case presented by the court has been underpinned by particularly critical premise. Namely, that victim was dining alone. However, as we have now discovered, this premise is false. It would be a declaration of injustice to ignore the truth and give a ruling at this point. We find the defendant guilty anyways. Yes! Yeah, not quite. I don't think we're quite there yet. Still gotta find the murderer.
Objection!
But Your Excellency, that'll mean missing the noon deadline of the ruling in order to send the telegraphic reports to Great Britain. Our government surely be very displeased by these such actions. Calm yourself, Council. I will not allow the government of our country or any other influence in the proceedings of my courtroom. Ugh. Inspector Hosonaga. Yes, sir? You will locate Jezebel Brett and escort her to the courtroom with the utmost urgency. At once, Your Excellency. But that means you're going against the special orders you were giving from the police bureau. As I said before, it is my guiding principle to carry out all investigations flawlessly, so it won't be a problem. Nothing will get in my way. So I was thinking this guy did it, but maybe not. Maybe he's telling the truth. Court will adjourn briefly. The prosecution must call the English student Jezebel Brett to the witness stand. Do I make myself clear? Yes. Your Excellency. Good. Then we will have a 30-minute recess before reconvening. He's got the new COVID? Yeah, exactly. To be continued. Yeah, there we are. Yeah, so I think we might call it there for now. Take a break. Yes. Because I think most court sessions there are like in 2 parts, so damn, that was full on. Yeah, exactly. And this is only the first case. I think there's like 5 or 6 cases per game, so yeah. But yeah, it gets there. For sure, for sure. Yeah, but we'll continue this next week. Oh, good times. Oh, good time as well. Oh, cool. Yeah. Yeah, so I'll continue this next week, and I reckon, we might be able to to do 2 games in one day that way. Yeah, because if I can do like half a case in like 2 hours, right? I can do that, and I can also play another game on the same day. So I could do one big game of one big day of streaming, and then chill. So that might be a good plan, but we'll see how we go. All right. Yes, but cheers for hanging out, Crowbar. All good, as always. And we'll see. Hopefully more viewers come by. Being quiet in here. Yeah, we'll see. Yeah. There's always been a large fan base for the Ace Attorney series, so yeah, hopefully as I play through this game, more people might stop by, so we'll see. We'll see how we're going. But is anybody online? Not really. No. No, it doesn't look like it. Nah, all good. Alright, that's fine. But yeah, I'll catch you out next week if you're here. But yeah, all good. You deserve some more viewers. Oh, cheers, man. All good. Yeah, maybe someday. I don't know. There's like people that pop in and in and out every now and then. But yeah, I know people are busy and with lives and whatnot. And there's some people that work weekends, so understandable. So that's all good. But I'll catch you then. Until then, that's all. Goodbye.